We're back with that unprecedented call for Attorney General William Barr to resign. More than 2,000 former DOJ staffers signing a letter on Barr to essentially resign from his post, writing his actions in doing the president's personal bidding unfortunately speak louder than his words. Those actions require Mr. Barr to resign. And now allies of the Attorney General are also speaking out. Donald Ayer, a former Barr colleague and Deputy Attorney General under George H.W. Bush, writes Barr must resign, adding, given his attacks on the rule of law, it is not too strong to say that Bill Barr is un-American. Here's what Ayer said right here on The Beat last week.
I don't think he's fit for the office because I think what he's done is to undertake a campaign essentially to undermine the Department of Justice as it was reformed and as we've all lived with it for the last 45 years, reformed following Watergate.
All right, joining me now is Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and executive editor of NewYorker.com, David Rohde, who is writing about William Barr, Trump's sword and shield, with a focus on critics now wondering if Barr is paving the way for autocracy. David, great to have you with us here. So let me begin by asking you that. Do you believe, from what you have gathered as a reporter, that everything William Barr has done is undermining our democracy and pushing us towards an autocracy?
I fear it is. I want to think that this interview this week was sort of a cry from Bill Barr that the president was out of control. But it's not clear yet, and Bill Barr needs to make a more decisive statement about which direction he's going to go in.
Why do you think that interview was a cry for help?
I think, to say the president's tweets are making it impossible for me to do my job, the president's tweets are making me, Bill Barr, look personally corrupt, is a brave thing for a member.
So you thought it was a genuine call, yeah.
I know that there's deeply divided opinion, and I want to give Bill Barr the benefit of the doubt here. I mean, there's no way that interview helped him with Donald Trump. And we've seen how he treats people who defy him. So I think there was a strategy here. Many people say it was just, words and it doesn't mean much. And he was essentially saying, hey, President Trump, let me do these corrupt things and help your friends. Just don't make it so public by tweeting about it.
But it seems though he is still getting involved in the cases in ways that people are saying are troubling. Roger Stone and even now Michael Flynn, who has admitted to the crimes, he has confessed to the crimes that he was accused of doing. And now William Barr, is saying, let's review this.
Yeah, and that's what's so troubling, is that he's bringing in all these outside prosecutors to review these cases. And it goes back to a decades-old sort of theory that Barr has had. It's a very extreme one, that the president can be in charge of all prosecutions. He can essentially send his enemies to jail and go easy on his friends. And this view of an all-powerful president. And basically, there's only two ways to hold a president in check. One is to impeach him, as Congress just did. The other is an election. And that's it. It's his executive branch. The president does whatever he wants.
Let me get your thoughts really quickly on this letter in terms of how it is being received within the Department of Justice. Have you gotten any indication as to how it's being received, whether other current serving members are saying we needed this?
I think it puts Barr on edge because it's telling people to speak out and resign if more things are happening. So Barr feels whatever he's doing is being watched very closely by people in the department. And as the signatures grow, that's another, troubling sign for the administration. And for
Let me play you this soundbite from the Attorney General back in 1991. Watch what he said back then.
Yeah.
The Attorney General has very special obligations, unique obligations. He holds in trust the fair and impartial administration of justice. It's the Attorney General's responsibility to enforce the law even-handedly and with integrity.
It's almost hard to imagine that is the same guy serving today as the Attorney General. Do you think he is no longer a respected, nonpartisan Attorney General?
I think that's what's happening, and there's tremendous damage to his, personal reputation. The difference is he was Attorney General under George H.W. Bush. George Bush believed that the presidency had lost power after Watergate and wanted to bring it back, but he would never do the things Donald Trump has done. And I wonder if Bill Barr, who had this theory about, presidents having all this power, is he questioning that theory working for Donald Trump? Seeing how this president handles all this power, is it making Donald Barr think, hang on a second, there should be some checks and balances here?
Yeah, and with a Republican-controlled Senate, I feel a lot of people feel that our system of checks and balances is probably being tested in a way that we haven't seen in a long time.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah. David Rohde, thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.